What's going on, everyone? My name's Tenebris, and today we've got some excellent news for you dudes. Generation Zero's next update drops in 8 days from now on the 25th of May. It's going to be more focused on bug fixing, but there's also some content in store. So let's let our community manager Carney take things away here with the announcement.
Should I just say it out loud? Is that how it's gonna work? Do I just say what the update is called and the date, or would you like me to give you a riddle or something? Yes, the next update, which is the 26th patch for Generation Zero, is going out on the 25th of May. That is in 8 days, and it's called the Tactical Response Update.
So, after the necessary question, Machine Companions when, we also got a little bit of information about what this update is going to have as its featured content.
The Robot Companion. I would love that alias. No, the Robot Companion is not part of this update. Would be really cool though. I would love a Robot Companion. No, there are no new weapons in this update, or new missions, or machines. Well, there are new missions. I'll get into that later.
But before telling us about the new missions, there was an announcement for a new DLC equipment pack similar to the tactical equipment pack that we received just last year.
So it's another premium DLC that you can buy for a couple bucks, and you get 5 new pieces of equipment, and they are super fun. I love them so much. This is probably my favorite like equipment or arsenal expansion DLC this far, because the designers just went absolutely haywire with them. I love it so much. Of course, I'm not gonna say what's in the pack right now, because it's gonna be announced, or shown over the next couple of days on social media. But it is a really fun one, believe me. Okay, so let me outline. How do I say this without spoiling too much? Okay, so the main things that are in this update are the new weapon DLC, or not weapon DLC, equipment DLC, and also the new mission, the repeatable missions. They're not like assignments, but they are something that will be replayable, and something that will be partly randomized, so you'll get a new mission every time you play in a new location. And it's something to give all kinds of players basically something to play, where they can get some pretty good loot. I've seen some really good loot come out of those missions. And of course, at the same time, you get to sabotage Phoenix some more, which is always a goal that Resistance has.
So I have some theories on what that activity is going to be, and we'll get into that theory in just a little bit here. But I had one last necessary question for the update, which is asking about the Mosin drop rates.
Update. Yes, Tenebris. Yes. There will be 2 ways of fixing the Mosin drop rate, or the Ventovka as it's called in the game. One of them is that it's being added to the wolf's drop table, as well as the Firebirds. So you can also get it from wolves, and the wolves don't already have a big pool of weapons that they can drop, so it will be much more likely to drop from those. And also, one of the designers let me know that he has implemented some kind of bad luck protection. I don't currently know how far this bad luck protection goes, if it extends to all experimental weapons, or all weapons in general, or just the Ventovka specifically. But yeah, you are definitely gonna be able to get it much easier after this patch.
So the hugest shoutouts to the developer that's implementing that bad luck protection. That sounds like a really awesome thing, and I do actually kind of hope that that will apply to all weapons, maybe if possible in the future, if it does only apply to the Mosin for now. Now, today seems to be the day of news. Not only did we get that short and sweet summary during the live stream today, but we've also got a developer that we could read through that goes into a lot more detail here. So the developer letter for the tactical response update reads as follows, and really quickly before we read through this, I think it's really awesome that we've gotten a second developer letter as quickly as we have here. The communication is getting back up in gear here with the community and stuff, and it is awesome to see. But the letter reads, "Good day, survivors. In the last dev letter, we explained why we were taking a bit longer than usual to bring out this new update for Generation Zero. In short, we wanted to give our dev team more time to thoroughly test what we were working on, as well as fix the issues that were found. Now, we're fast approaching the end of this new quality assurance period and are ready to lock in a release date. Patch 26, the tactical response update, will be released on all platforms on the 25th of May, 2023. Once more, thank you for your patience while we were working towards giving this update the polish it deserves. We see your continued support across all of our social media channels, and we greatly appreciate having you at our side as we release new and exciting content for Generation Zero. Speaking of content, let's talk a bit about what's in this new update. First and foremost, procedural missions. These missions are a new way for both newer and veteran players to throw a wrench in the machine's works and earn some sweet loot. Once a week, a new procedural mission will be unlocked and playable for all players. At the moment, there are 3 types of missions with varying difficulty levels and rewards, with more types coming out in later updates. They can spawn in different locations all over the map, so keep a watch out. At release, these missions will focus on sabotaging the machines and their operations. You'll take out integral parts of their infrastructure and steal important resources. But watch out, these key points will be well guarded. We're glad to be able to give players more things to do on a regular basis. And this looks like it might be in the mountains region. We've talked a little bit about the mountains region in previous videos and stuff, analyzing some changes in terrain and stuff like that. So this seems like it could be taking place in the mountains region, but it's also going to take place all over the map. So I'm very interested to see how these weekly, procedural missions are going to turn out here. Honestly, though, my dudes, I'm feeling really good about these procedural missions. I really think that the extra time that the development team has taken to polish this update is going to show in these procedural missions. But moving on to Tactical Equipment Pack number 2, after we buffed the items in the first equipment DLC we released, players were happy with what it provided, but they had more ideas for fun and useful equipment that we could put in the game. So we did. This premium DLC will contain 5 new pieces of equipment to tailor your playstyle and give you more options to approach a fight. One of them will give you a whole new perspective in approaching a battle. That's very interesting. Over the next couple of days, we'll reveal the items in this DLC one by one on our social media, so be sure to follow our Twitter account and join our Discord server to get all of the details. And on our channel here, we're going to be doing a huge review on the Tactical Equipment Pack, as we always do with the DLC packs. So you dudes can stay tuned for that on May 25th, again, just in 8 days. Moving on to lots of bug fixes. On top of polishing the new content released with this update, we also got around to fixing a lot of crashes, multiplayer connection issues, and AI behavior. And that's not all. Here are some of the other things that we fixed. The mission building blocks has received several fixes to progress blockers that were preventing players from completing the quest. The homeward bound challenge tree works as intended again, and lastly, we know how much you love your Tylovden home bases, so in case you haven't started your game since before the February 2023 update, you could do so without being afraid of losing it after this update. As for those who have already lost their base to this bug in the last 3 months, we currently have no systems in place that would allow us to reimburse the lost materials to each of you. We know you're frustrated about the loss of your hard-earned resources, so we'll keep looking into our possibilities and adding a way to give back at least part of what you lost, but that will take more time. Thank you for your patience. Now for performance, and this is something that I'm really looking forward to in this upcoming patch. We've improved performance on Xbox One and PS4, and are working on even more performance optimization to be released between the Tactical Response update and the next major patch. Shoutouts to my console homies, especially the ones on last gen. I really hope this update will be a banger of an update for you dudes. Then we've got quality of life. We're also making some quality of life changes to make certain aspects of the game more fun and easy to complete. For example, the Vintovka will get some bad luck protection as well as being added to the Wolf's loot pool in order to make it more easily accessible to players. Also, resources can now be pulled from the Plundra when crafting. It's a nice little change to the Plundra and the whole crafting system, giving it a bit more synergy there. And lastly, coming soon. These are just a small assortment of the changes made in the Tactical Response update. You'll be able to read the full details in the patch notes, which we aim to release one day ahead of the update, so you have ample time to read through them and make plans for your first session after it drops. Of course, we know that this update is rather slim in terms of new content added compared to previous releases. This is because we put a lot of effort into quality over quantity, and also because we're focusing a lot of resources on one of the coolest additions to the game since its release, a feature that will be unveiled after this update has been released. And I am really looking forward to what this feature is going to be. No, it's not a new story DLC or another island. We know that many of you have been asking for one. However, we want to focus on improving the existing game that we have on our hands. We're looking forward to talking more about our future plans when the time comes. And you dudes know that I'm going to be covering the absolute heck out of that. But lastly, speaking of future plans, a new public roadmap is still very much being worked on, but since the extended development cycle with this new update is experimental, we have to be really careful when locking in dates and future trajectories. Now that the Tactical Response update is on the doorstep, we're hoping to finish and publish the public roadmap soon. Until then, stay safe out there and take down some machines for us. Cheers, the Generation Zero dev team. So, from new perspectives in battle with the upcoming Tactical Equipment Pack 2, new procedural missions giving us more reasons to fight the machines in Osterturn, and a new approach on development that hopefully will reward us all with a polished and superb update. So, let me know, my dudes, what are you most looking forward to in this update? Let me know in the comments down below, but for now, thank you very much for watching Update Hype, and I will catch you all in the next one. Until then, peace.